This is Personal SEO Teaches how to create micro neighborhoods in diverse solutions and things that we do to kind of cheat and make sure that you are matching what is available in that area. And this somewhat has to do with competitors' websites, but which is great because if the work is done for you, then you can kind of have a layout. So I will promote here a little bit at Sierra Interactive. So here is Sierra Interactive. This is a great site. Their websites allow you to create all of these communities fairly quickly. The downside is that most solutions don't allow you to create these communities as quickly as Sierra does. All the listing shows content, their websites are SEO friendly. But however, if you have a solution such as Diverse Solutions and you don't want to change, or you don't want to pay the hefty fee, I think they're like $400 a month, and you want to pay something less, so I think the Diverse Solutions like $100 a month, and then there's web hosting. So then if you want to manage your fees, this would be the best way to go. But then I would find a Sierra site or someone that's built their site out like this, so that you can kind of copy what they're doing. Because they're creating micro neighborhoods, and that's exactly what you need to do on your site to create micro neighborhoods to compete for all of these long tail key phrases. It's actually fairly easy to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to work on, I'll bring the site over again, we're going to work on Malibu. So in the back end of the website, we do multiple things. Like I really like this table, so I created this table plugin, and we'll go into how to create that in another video. This is just creating the pages and then going from that point. So in other words, here is the same exact, well, not the same exact table, but here is our table with all the links to these pages that mimic the Sierra Interactive layout with using Diverse Solutions. So let's go. So what we want to do is we want to copy all of these and create all of these pages. And we want to organize them just like we have with Hollywood Hills. So there's Hollywood Hills, and then there's all of the sub areas inside of Hollywood Hills. And then you'll notice that there's a few other sections that are not as organized. There is actually, Malibu does seem to be somewhat organized. So what we'll do is we'll just compare, and I'm looking on the other screen just so I can find a good example. Yeah, so Bossanel Canyon hasn't been created. So what I'm going to do is just right click on Big Rock, and what I'm looking for is I'm just looking for an area without listings. Big Rock has a map, so I'm going to skip that one and go to Carbon Beach. And then this is, oh, this is just the map view. So perfect. So with Big Rock, we're going to click duplicate this. And I'm probably going to have to log in again because yeah, hold on, let me log in real quick. Try that one more time. Okay, so now I hit duplicate this, and this is a thing that I normally install on all WordPress sites just to get the building out faster. If we could duplicate a page, then we can go a lot faster in building all of them out. So, all right, so then here's the Big Rock Malibu draft page that we just duplicated from this one by clicking on duplicate this, and then I'm going to right click and hit open in a new tab. And then I'm going to bring up a trusty old notepad, and the only thing I'm going to do is copy the listing ID and everything, and the H1 tag, because we're just going to change that fairly easily. So then what we're going to do is we're going to do Bossanel Canyon. So I'm actually going to click on it. Bonsall Canyon. Okay, and then this is the normal SEO replacement. So we replace the URL, hit OK, we replace the H1 tag, OK, and I tend to change it to H2. So on the notepad that I copied this over with, I actually don't want to have that there. We'll create this in a second. The same thing, I'm going to erase that, paste this in here, hit enter, and then paste this in here. And then another thing that I learned is that if you, I'm going to click up here, if you do a separator and then space and then site title, so I'm just going to grab this information right here. Okay, and then and you can see what that does is that adds a space and then Pinsiri luxury homes. I'm just doing that for now as a placeholder. We're going to come back in later and add content, but that's just a quick way to add that in. Most of the time it's going to say, it's going to have the short code for site title, separator, and site name, so you can just grab that. But since this page was already created, the next time we duplicate a page, we will duplicate this page, and then it will go from that point. I'm going to make sure that the parent is under Malibu. And then the next thing we have to do is just create the IDX link. So this solution uses diverse solutions. So what we do here is we go to control panel and then links. Okay, and then you see all of the links that have been created. There is like 40 of them. I'm sorry, 80 of them. We go ahead and click on new link. And there are multiple ways to kind of get this done. So the first thing you want to do is label the link. Oops, clicking and not typing. Okay, Bonsall Canyon. Okay, and then I use, on the other screen you can't see, but I'll drag this over so you can. I'm using this map because we don't live in this area. I don't know where Bonsall Canyon is. So then this allows us to match the work that somebody else has done. So you can draw the map if you want. There are multiple ways to do this, but I'm just going, okay, it's off the coast, off of Los Angeles, near Malibu. Okay, so then I kind of have to find that. Now here in Diverse Solutions, there are two maps. So what you want to do is just kind of, you can see where Malibu is. You don't have to do anything with this map except for kind of zoom in a little bit and then lock visitors to that area. This is the custom polygon map, which again, I'm looking at the other screen. And so click on the hand first. If it has this symbol, just click on the hand and make sure that you can drag it around and then zoom into exactly where it is. Again, using another site as a reference really helps speed the whole entire process up, because then you are not having to do this by yourself. Copying other people's work is great. So go ahead and click on the line, and then I'm not looking for perfection. I wouldn't say I want you to look for perfection when you're doing this. Go outside the lines just a little bit. And the reason being is that it's the goal to have content on the page all of the time. And even if it is a false positive, meaning that it's outside the Bonsall Canyon area, I want content listed there because it's going to help with search engine optimization rankings. And again, it's just kind of best guess anyways. So I'm just gonna, okay. So for example, there is their map where they're being very precise, and here is my map where I am not being as precise. Again, I want listings to show. I haven't found a lot of users that are upset that there is a house just right outside, because if they can't afford inside the neighborhood, they may be able to afford outside that neighborhood. I don't constrain any ideas. I don't constrain anything to the map, and then I just choose active. Again, if I really wanted to do pending and sold, but that tends to frustrate people a little bit more. All of this other information I skip and then just hit save and done. And then you have to find this in the list. You can actually just type it in and then it will show up. But you're looking for the number 176,290. And then this is what you replace in your trusty notepad. 476,290. I think I said 1, but it's a 4. You could always click on the link if you're unsure and then grab the number here, and then you could paste it in over here if you're really scared about missing the number. Now stop that. So that just seems to be more of a pain rather than just typing the number in manually. Just don't make a mistake, just verify it. So there are 11 results, and when I look at this page there are 7 results. So you could tell I went outside the lines a little bit. Again, we could always adjust it later, but since we're building this as quickly as possible and building as many of these as fast as possible, we tend to not want to worry about that too much. So then go back to the pages, back to your edited page of the Bossanel Canyon, and then again you can just replace the code right here. You can just replace it and then hit publish. All of the numbers should change, and then go ahead and right click on it and open in a new tab. And then here is the Bossanel listings, and that is all that you need to do. I tend to not like the layout, so what I will do is I will grab this layout. I like this grid layout a little bit better. This is just personal choice. So all I'm going to do is edit the short code, and I believe it says, so if you compare listings ID link, there's the number, the count's 100, the larger photos is true, listing alignment is center, so I'm just going to copy this, listing alignment is center, and then short code view list map. So all I'm going to do is take this out, so then now the short code matches, and then add that into the Bossanel page. It just, I don't know, I just don't like the way that that map looks. You could play with your own shortcode and your solution in any way that you want, and then we'll go from there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back and then look at this Sierra site and make sure all of these pages are then correctly added to the site. Same thing I noticed at Malibu homes for sale. This will just switch to Malibu. On the Carbon Beach page you'll see, oops, on what other page did I have? On the Nicholas page you will see it just says Hollywood Hills / Nicholas Canyon. So it'll just say Malibu / Big Rock or Carbon Beach. It'll just say it that way. And that's how to add diverse solutions and to create micro neighborhoods fairly quickly. There is another way to add items inside of diverse solutions, so I will try and show you this way. This would be even faster. I would always want you to try this first rather than drawing the map. So go ahead and hit create a new link, and then just drag it over to Malibu and zoom in a little bit. It doesn't quite matter where you are. If you skip this button, it's okay. But go down to locations, and what you're going to do is you're going to type in a result. So I'm just going to type in winding way. Just pick on that one, and I'll do it up here, winding way. Okay, for the location, and it says 1 per line, location unifies community. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to not draw the map at all. I'm just trying to see if the solution will pick up winding way without me drawing the map. And so I'm going to hit save and done, and then type in winding way. For this solution, actually, oh, I already did it once. For this solution, it might be faster to draw the map because it doesn't give you any inkling that there are listings in Winding Way. So you can leave this page up and type in Winding Way and see if it actually appears, and it does not. This would be the other way to do it. So you can literally go through the entire list over here and see how many things actually appear. It also automatically tries and find what you're typing in, which is not even close to, it matched LE instead of the rest of the address. So that can get confusing. Yeah. So I would just draw the map every single time. In this solution, I would. Normally, what I want you to do is just type in the city and then start going from that moment, so then you don't have to draw the map. But since it's going to autofill, it's going to get really confusing because I want Zuma Canyon and it's Zuma Bay, and that will switch the results to something that you don't want it to do. So just draw the map every single time. So here is the Winding Way that I did. So I'm going to just delete the one that I created. So that's how to create micro neighborhoods inside of Diverse Solutions. Draw it on the map every single time, then it will be clear. And then use someone else's map to make sure that everything is fine. Now, worst case scenario, you might get an area where there is no listings, and unfortunately, I'm going to try and find one. Unfortunately, Sierra removes the map entirely when there are no listings, which means that you would just have to use Google and find where that section is on the map somewhere else, which is kind of a pain. So just know that, but work with a list and maps that are already done, and then you don't have to do the pain of trying to find the map drawn out for every single one by Googling it. So using a competitor's website, especially competitor using Sierra, makes it really, really easy. All right, this is Personal SEO Teaches how to create micro neighborhoods and diverse solutions and in WordPress. Thank you for watching and have a good day.